All right, let's get into it real quick. Dana White and his wife gets into an altercation at a bar. Sounds like it should be a joke, but it's not. Dana White and his wife slap each other in a public bar, in a club. Dana White and his wife are vacationing for the holidays in Cabo, per Dana White's apology video. They are in a bar. If you've seen the video, I am not going to play it. Warning, we are talking about domestic violence. Yes, I'm irritated. So I'm going to try to keep my emotions at bay and keep my language YouTube friendly, because they're really honing down on us for that. Dana White's wife is leaning over the railing of a bar. He's talking or something, or not talking, whatever happens. He irritates her. She leans up and slaps Dana across the face. Pretty decent slap. Dana White immediately turns, almost as if you can see what he's saying, like, did you just fucking slap me? And then slaps a good one on her. Then he proceeds to berate, slaps down on her, what look like slaps, as she kind of disappears into the fuzziness of this shitty recorded club video. Now, is there any question she slapped Dana? No. Is there any question that Dana slapped her? No. So let's get into it. Dana White is wrong. Dana White's wife is wrong. Dana White is very wrong. How is anyone supposed to buy a UFC event now? If the UFC does not force Dana White to resign as president of the UFC, I think they are putting their business at great risk. Because I, as someone who comes from a family where women have been abused, and I have been with women who have been abused in past relationships, I grew up around all women, I am very sensitive to this subject. My show is called The Road to Redemption. I am all about redeeming oneself. There are some things you cannot necessarily redeem. Domestic violence is one of those things. I'm not saying you should be cast away to an island to starve to death and die forever. I'm saying you should get no assistance from anyone for anything. Sure, we don't have to wish ill will on you, but you should get no support from anyone. Dana White issues an apology, if that's what you want to call it. I don't know why he chose to go straight to TMZ and talk to the owner of that, who's also a lawyer, or was a lawyer. And Dana gives the reasoning that people don't understand our relationship. We've been together since we were 12 years old. Dana, if you've been together since you were 12 years old, that's all the more reason you should want to protect that woman. You knew her as an innocent child. That does not bring ration or depth to your relationship that makes this okay. You saying that this isn't okay doesn't make it okay. You having anything to say right now doesn't make any of this okay. And here's what's upsetting to me. Dana White is an arrogant, egotistical, maniacal man. He has made an entire career of profiting off a sport he didn't participate in. He doesn't actively participate in. He pays his fighters like shit. He has almost every ill opinion that you could when it comes to almost anything. And as far as just being nice to people, he's in general not. When you see the way that he talks to people and the way he downgrades people, press people. Like, remember, he's a promoter. The only reason he makes any money is because people are paying attention to his stuff. And anytime the press asks him something he doesn't like, he just downgrades them, belittles them, and treats them like shit. Not to mention all the fighters like Jon Jones, who are open and known domestic abusers. He just lets everything that they ever do slide by. And we've always wondered, why is Dana so lenient on Jon Jones? Well, now we know why. You can tell the world that this is the first time this has happened. Do you think any of us believe that? This is the first time it happened in public. Now, why would I think that this is the first time that this has actually happened? Because it happened in public. They were so sloppy and lazy that they even allowed, knowing their status, knowing that everywhere you are, there's going to be a camera on you. You allowed yourself in the position to at least be seen doing these things, both of you. So if you've allowed yourself to now be seen doing these things, that means that you were so out of your head, you didn't even consider the fact that there was probably a camera recording and someone was going to know who you two were and what you were doing. This is the part that really makes me mad. How he kept honing in his apology video with TMZ on the fact that they've known each other since they were 12, and there's a lot of depth and past to their relationship. This is the same thing that abusers say to their victims so that the victim will downplay the incident that just happened. Well, people don't understand us. They don't know us. No one can love you like me. They don't understand the love. These are gaslighting, manipulating tactics that people use. And Dana White is now using the press to do it all to you. So congratulations. You have all just been effectively gaslit by an abusive, egotistical, narcissistic fucking dickhead. So everyone that wants to say that you've been abused by a narcissist on TikTok these days, just watch the Dana White video and there you go. You can say that you have been experienced to a true narcissistic, manipulative fucking rant. Dana White should have said nothing other than, I am resigning as the president of the UFC. I have no business being in this position anymore. By the grace of God, my wife is willing to work with me through these problems we're having, and I'm dedicating my life to that. I will not profit off violence anymore. I don't want to hear shit about Dana White is desensitized to violence like Joe Rogan likes to say about himself all the time. Guys, yes, being around fighting, being around shit like that desensitizes you to the idea of violence. It does not ever lower that part in your primal brain that goes, I do not hit women. That's the same thing with alcohol. If you have DUIs, that doesn't also mean you hit women. Alcohol does not make hitting women like, you get a pass because you were drunk. You don't get a pass when you're drunk for a DUI. You pay for that. You deal with that. Again, as someone who's got 3 of them, you can fuck up bad. You can fuck up real bad on alcohol. But alcohol exposes who you are. So if you are someone deep within your core that has no issue punching, striking, hitting, whatever, a woman, how the fuck are we supposed to allow this to be the president of the Ultimate Fighting Championship? We've looked away from Dana and who Dana is for long enough. How are we going to do it now? If we do it now, we are losers. We have nothing to say as a human species about what's right and what's wrong if we allow Dana White to stay as the president of the UFC. I am torn because part of me wants to see every UFC fighter come out and go, I will not fight for this guy. I will not bring a single dollar into this corporation while this man heads it. At the same time, I have friends that fight in the UFC. I know people there. I know how hard they've worked to get there. I know what it takes, and I know what they're sacrificing. Do I think it's okay to ask fighters to throw away all their sacrifice and commitment because Dana White fucked up? And go, I will not fight if he's not removed? Because guess what? The likelihood is he's not going to be removed. He's a millionaire with the best lawyers money can buy. His wife isn't going to press charges on him. So technically, there's no crime that was committed. But there was a crime committed. There are no charges to officially make the crime a crime. But we all know what happened. So let's take the first 10 seconds of the video out where she slaps him first. What happens then? Are we all having a different conversation because no one saw her slap him first? But because she slapped him first, it gives the idiots just enough of a caveat to be like, well, they were both wrong. She was wrong. He was very wrong. He is a man who is on testosterone for fucking days, knows all about fighting, violence, all this shit. He, of all people, should be held to the full extent of what just happened. I would love to know you guys' thoughts on it in the comments. Let me know what you think.